off the field, there was some interesting action as well. DK Metcalf, who was a big offseason trade for the Steelers, bringing him in to be Aaron Rodgers' weapon. I talked to this dude at the NFL draft. He was coming out of Ole Miss. You want to talk about a specimen. I mean, he's taller than me. We've about the same body type, maybe 4 or 5% body fat, long arms, looking good, six-pack. He might be in slightly better shape than I am. The dude is a freak of nature.
58-inch vert, 140.
It's insane how athletic he is.
Yeah.
But his play on the field was not the most thing that caught the most attention. It was the interaction with a fan that took place. And now I've seen players go up and kind of have words. Mm-hmm. One time in college, I had a teammate that did punch a fan. In college, you can't get fined, though. You can't get suspended. He was reprimanded by Coach Bowden. But unfortunately for DK, he did grab the guy by his thing, and then he kind of slapped him. I don't think he punched him. If you look under that stupid wig or whatever the guy was wearing, he kind of slapped him. But cameras are everywhere. They caught everything, and they caught this interaction, and so did the NFL. And now we find out that DK Metcalf suspended 2 games for that action.
Yeah, I think first angle, it probably looked the worst. Like from that angle, it looked like he hit him. As you see a couple of different angles, you could see he was almost just like, piss off, guy. There is so much to this, though, right? The deeper you dig, what happens now? So DK stands to lose almost $60 million in guarantees because his contract has a clause in it that states if he fails to play or practice with the team for any reason, all his guarantees in the future become null and void. So he's not going to lose him specifically, but definitely. But the craziest thing now is that it leaves the NFL in a very unenviable position, right? Because this guy, if you look into the story, he's got a history with DK Metcalf. The same fan tried DK last year when he was with Seattle, and DK Metcalf reported it. Now, the hard part is he's got a 2-game suspension. I don't think any of us believe that this suspension, the act warrants losing $60 million, right? I think we're all on the same page with that.
Right. No.
But it leaves the NFL in a position where they almost look like we don't care about the fans if we do overturn it.
Right.
And if they don't overturn it and he misses these games, he now stands to lose that money. So that's the really tough part for the NFL that I don't, I'm glad I'm not in that room right now because you have to make the decision. But we do have a clip that I sent to Deli and Malik earlier. And it's actually the fan after he, does this. This is the clip right there. If you guys can run it, you'll hear him say, that's exactly what the goal was. Oh, listen, something like that. He's right in the front. Hold on, I know I sent it to these guys. It got like a caption, and if you can hear him well, he's saying something like, that was the goal, like that's what we did it for. And at that point, I'm like, so the guy was reported last year.
Yeah.
The NFL didn't do anything about it. And then he came with intent this year. I think that gives DK Metcalf a bit of a leg to stand on. Like this guy came out of his way with the intention of making you, react. I think maybe they have a little bit more of a case now on this appeal, but we'll see, man. This is crazy.
This dude is the worst. Yeah. I want to punch this guy in the face. And he's not even in his seats. He's coming up specifically to bait DK Metcalf and doing what he did. As you pointed out, he said that was the goal.
Yeah.
This drives me nuts. Now, I know the NFL cannot have. They do not want a malice at the palace type situation where you can't have players going up and getting into it with fans. Mm-hmm. But this guy has to be kicked out of stadiums too. He should be banned from attending NFL games as well because you can't have fans allowed that type of access that are specifically there just to bait the player into doing something stupid like that. There's a couple angles where you see DK Metcalf, and he's got some security in the vicinity of him. Like there's even a police officer because I think DK had reported him.
Yeah.
And they're not doing anything. They're not getting the guy out of the stadium. They're not coming in between DK Metcalf and the player. Like they just kind of let him go over there. I think even the Steelers, like security, every team has security. They should have been more aware of this. Look, I am not absolving DK Metcalf. You cannot do that.
Right.
But I do not think it is worthy of the 2-game suspension. I think they should appeal it. It should come down. There's also a cost for him. If he does, have the 2-game suspension, it voids $45 million in future guarantees, which is way too costly for him, for DK Metcalf. I don't think anybody thinks it's worth that. So it'll be interesting to see what the appeals process goes for. But I cannot stand the fan that did that. He celebrated. As soon as he got hit, he turned around and he's like celebrated. Like he scored a touchdown.
Well, this is a microcosm of the world we live in today, right? Yes. We talk about Twitter fingers a lot. I mean, look, I'm the king of getting killed because Like people will do it. It's actually, I give people credit and it's really funny. Like they'll bring up my NFL profile and be like, there's not really much on here. And I'm like, yeah, you know what? Like it's the bottom of the top 1% I'm comfortable with.
Right.
But it's like people are of the belief, like they
Trolls.
know. Well, they know their goal is like, I can say
get a
anything I
reaction.
want to these guys without them being able to do anything back. And it sucks because that's the way the world is, man. Like they say, like you can pretty much, you have the freedom. That's that First Amendment, right? You have the freedom to say anything you want. But if you don't put a hand on a guy can't put a hand on you. And it sucks because it empowers idiots like this to be able to feel like I'm protected, I'm safe. And look, at the end of the day, if he does punch me in the mouth, you know, I'm getting paid for it. So that's what sucks about the whole situation. You know, these guys are people. Obviously, DK Metcalf probably gives off that superhero vibe more than anybody. But at the end of the day, man, he's got a fuse. He's got a limit. And if this guy year after year is doing something, there's been rumors that the guy has said a racial slur.
Right.
And I mean, I can't put myself in that position, but I can't imagine that I'd be calm and not want to punch him in the face himself if he didn't, if he said something like that to me.
This guy embodies the real world troll who sits in his basement just peppers comments at everybody who's famous and wants them to say something back so they can screen grab it and say, I got you.
Yeah,
that's essentially what this guy is. And he's in real life, doing it in real life, and he got him. And that, to me, is the biggest type of loser that is out there.
And the sucky part about it is, if that guy's done it, someone else is going to do it now. And they'll feel empowered to, oh, wow, this guy got away with it. This guy might even go to court now with a neck brace and get something, That's going to give somebody else somewhere else the vibe like, oh, I can go do this too. And it's crazy. Like, that's a hard sport to have it happen. You think of things like the NBA. NBA, they're right on the court with guys. I can't believe the players are able to kind of show the restraint to not have that happen. More.
You know what else? If I'm DK Metcalf, I am pointing out. You don't want to throw any other NFL player under the bus, but remember the Bills were playing the Ravens, and Lamar Jackson went and shoved a Bills fan.
Yeah.
That was more reactionary. It was a heat of the moment. There was a celebration. The fan said something, and he shoved him. He didn't hit him. But I think if you're DK Metcalf's attorneys and his representation, you're saying, wait a second, there was a precedent that was set. You didn't do anything to him.
Totally.
This is way too harsh.
Totally.
So we'll see what they do there.